You wake up. The phone is already warm in your hand. A notification, a photo, a highlight reel from someone you barely remember. New car, new city, new life. You scroll, you compare, you get the itch behind your ribs. Is that them, or is that supposed to be you? You've been keeping score in the dark. Bank balance, paycheck dates, small wins that evaporate by Friday. You tell yourself tomorrow will fix it. You make plans just loud enough to drown out the silence. You make excuses that sound like good reasons. You tell yourself discipline is for later, and you sleep. How long has this been happening? A week? A year? A pattern? A small, quiet erosion, one tiny decision after another, each one comfortable, each one painless, until they add up. You're not lazy, you're not broken, you are distracted, you are comfortable in the ways that steal from your future. You are used to the soft theft of routine, a subscription here, an impulse buy there, a just this once that becomes the script. Why does it matter? Because money is the mirror of your choices, not the loud choices, the invisible ones, the tiny, repeatable choices that turn into a life. You are training for a future you don't really want, or for one you haven't yet dared to define. You keep asking, am I falling behind? Are there people smarter than me, richer than me, luckier than me? You think the answer is talent or timing. You look for a single cause, a secret loophole, a shortcut. There isn't one. There's only pattern. There's only habit. There's only the slow compound of small decisions. You say you'll start saving next month. You say you'll get serious after the next raise. You say you'll be different when things calm down. But tomorrow is a trap. Tomorrow is the soft currency of the undisciplined. Tomorrow will never be urgent enough. You feel guilt, a quiet shame, but also anger, at your choices, at the systems that whisper, buy now, at the people that show off like it's effortless, at yourself for believing noise was the same as progress. You need to see the math, not to shame you, to wake you. $9,000 in credit card debt, $65,000 median retirement savings, $52,000 median income before the taxman takes his slice. Numbers that look harmless on paper, numbers that feel brutal when they are your life. Do you know how many small comforts equal $9,000? Some dinners out, a few impulse sneakers, a subscription you forgot to cancel, a glossy purchase in a muted moment. All of it stitched together becomes a monthly interest bill, a slow drain, a silent predator. But here's the truth. This is not about deprivation, it's about decision. This is not the result of some innate failure. It's the predictable outcome of the life you keep feeding. And this is where everything changes. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is currency. Discipline buys options. Discipline buys time. Discipline buys quiet nights where you sleep without counting. What would it look like to treat discipline as self-respect? To see no not as loss, but control. To reject convenience when convenience is a cost. What if you protected your future the same way you protect your phone? Imagine for a second. You stop paying interest to strangers. You stop buying status to feel belonging for a week. You redirect the tiny streams into a reservoir that grows. Compound interest isn't magic. It's the muscle of repeated small decisions. So how do you start without turning into a spreadsheet zealot? You start by changing the story you tell about yourself. Not I don't have enough, but I am choosing where my life goes. Not I'll start later, but I decide now. You don't need a new salary, you need clarity. You don't need a dramatic overhaul, you need consistent boundaries. Which boundary will you keep? A rule about credit cards? A rule about subscriptions? A rule about weekends? Choose one. Keep it simple. Keep it relentless. You think this is about money. It's not. It's about identity. Who do you become when the easy choice is gone? Who do you become when the noise retreats and quiet remains? The answer shapes every account, every relationship, every morning. There will be loss. You will miss things. You will feel left out. That discomfort is the price of growth. Most people choose comfort. They choose the applause of now. They trade a future they might love for small pleasures that fade. Ask yourself, do you want to be applauded today or sustained tomorrow? Let me tell you a harder truth. Most people fail because they can't save. They fail because they believe saving is a lonely life. They think being careful is grim. They confuse scarcity with discipline. Discipline is not grim. Discipline is pride. It is the calm knowledge that your future doesn't depend on someone else's show. It depends on the decisions you make in small rooms with no audience. That is power. You will feel rage at this. Good. Let it turn you. Rage is better than resignation. Rage lights a path. It breaks the lull of someday. But here's the other side. Anger without plan is noise, so you marry purpose to temper. You will hear voices. Invest for speed. Buy the dream now. Live once. They are loud. They are attractive. They are designed to move your attention and your money. You will keep hearing them until you become quieter. Until your choices are louder than their ads. Until your silence is mistaken for apathy. Silence is strength. Noise is weakness. Remember this. Small, consistent actions are the tools of people who win quietly. They don't post. They plot. They do the work in the parts of life that no one sees. You will have days when you fail. You will spend impulsively. You will scroll and covet. That's human. But you are not defined by a single day. You are defined by the pattern, and patterns are changeable. So make the first change public to yourself, not to your followers, not to your friends, to the person who will have to live with the consequences. Write it down. A single line. A promise you'll keep for 90 days. No more buying when bored. No more carrying a minimum payment. No more pretending it's fine. This is not about perfection. This is about direction. You will start to notice a peculiar thing. Freedom arrives disguised as patience. Your options grow. You can say yes to meaningful things, not to the momentary applause. You will not become wealthy overnight. You will become secure. You will become steady. And later, when the stakes rise, you will have choices others do not. This is the psychological war. Against distraction, against comfort, against the cheap thrill of now. You must win that war daily with small, boring victories. Accountability is not a lecture. It's a mirror you hold up to your future self. Do not let your identity be someone who tries. Let it be someone who chooses. The difference is seismic. Now listen closely, because here's the pivot you've been waiting for. This is not about willpower alone. Willpower fades. Identity does not. You want to be the kind of person who saves, who says no without drama, who treats money like a serious tool. To become that person, you must change the story in your head. Repeat this to yourself. I am the kind of person who secures my future. Say it with the weight of a promise, not a wish, not a hope, a promise. You will meet resistance. Comfort will push back. Old friends and old habits will try to pull you into the noise. That's natural. But every time you resist, you rewire what you believe about yourself. Discipline becomes less about sacrifice and more about respect. Not respect for an idea, respect for your life. Respect for what you owe your future self. You will feel the quiet pleasures of authority, a bank balance that grows, a credit line that shrinks, sleep that is deeper because tomorrow no longer terrifies you. And here is the most dangerous part. As you grow, people will assume things about you. They will offer judgments. They will call you boring. They will ask why you don't live a little. Do not confuse their pace with your purpose. Your life is not for show. It is for living.
There will be a moment, maybe soon, when choices get harder. An unexpected bill, a job that falters, a temptation that sings louder than normal. This is the real test, not whether you saved before, but what you do when something threatens what you've built. If you've been careful, you bend. If you've been loud, you break. So here is the final quiet challenge. 3 roads open in front of you. 1. Keep the noise. Keep the comfort. Keep the applause. Live loud and fragile. Spend your future to fund today's story. Sleep with a hollow thrill. Wake to the same worry. 2. Lean into panic. Cut everything at once. Rage scramble your life into a perfection that crumbles because it was built on fear. You will burn out. You will rebound. You will be exhausted. 3. Steady.